centuries, people believed the narwhal tusk came from a mythical unicorn. This mysterious spiral tooth is a sensory organ that reads the ocean and a biological archive that records every change in the Arctic. From disappearing sea ice to rising mercury, the narwhal tusk is telling us a story, one backed by real science, real data, and real warnings. And in this video, we reveal what the tusk truly is. For most of human history, the narwhal tusk was a fascinating mystery, piercing through the Arctic water. European royalty once believed it came from unicorns, paying fortunes for the spiraled ivory. Meanwhile, Inuit communities who had lived alongside narwhals for generations had legends talking about a woman transformed into a narwhal, and the tusk was her twisted hair. In the early 2000s, a small group of scientists traveled to the Arctic to investigate the tusk's true nature. They approached the mystery as a biological puzzle, looking for evidence. They examined the tusk's structure with modern tools, and what they discovered was that the tusk was filled with millions of sensory nerves connected directly to the narwhal's brain. It wasn't a decorative spear or an ornament. It was a sensory organ, one capable of detecting small changes in water salinity, pressure, and temperature. In northwest Greenland, a team of scientists collected narwhal tusks gathered over decades. When they sliced them into cross-sections and examined the layers, they made another discovery. Each tusk had annual growth rings, much like a tree's. In those rings were chemical traces revealing what the animal ate, how sea ice had changed, where the narwhal had traveled, and even how much pollution had entered the Arctic food web. Suddenly, the tusk was no longer just a sensory organ. It had become a biological archive, a living historical record of the Arctic spanning 50 years or more. Every shift in prey species, every retreat of sea ice, every rise in mercury contamination, it was all written inside the tusk. As researchers read deeper into these records, a troubling but important fact emerged. For decades, narwhals had relied on ice-associated fish like halibut and Arctic cod. But around the early 1990s, the tusk layers showed a sharp dietary shift. As summer sea ice receded due to climate change, narwhals were forced to adapt, increasingly turning to open ocean species. At the same time, the tusks revealed a significant rise in mercury levels, first gradual, then accelerating after the year 2000. Inuit hunters had noticed these changes long before scientific papers recorded them. They spoke about altered migration routes, different feeding patterns, and the impact of thinner ice on narwhal behavior. When scientists and Inuit knowledge holders collaborated, the picture became clearer. The tusk's chemical record aligned with real observations from those who understood the Arctic through generations of experience. With the introduction of noise due to modern activities in the Arctic, such as shipping traffic and seismic exploration, studies revealed that narwhals, already navigating a rapidly changing environment, were highly sensitive to underwater sound. Their dependence on fjords made them especially vulnerable. The same sensory abilities that made the tusk extraordinary also meant human-generated noise could disrupt migration and feeding. As knowledge grew, so did action. Scientists, indigenous communities, environmental groups, and policymakers began pushing for quieter shipping corridors, sustainable monitoring systems, and stricter protections for Arctic habitats. The tusk, the same object once mistaken for a mythical unicorn horn, had become a scientific tool guiding conservation across the North. So when we ask today, what is the narwhal tusk? The answer is layered. Just like the tusk itself, it is a sensory organ that reads the ocean. It is a biological archive holding decades of environmental history. It is linked to climate change and pollution. It is a connection between indigenous knowledge and modern science. And it is a messenger, one that carries warnings, insights, and truths written into its spiraled form. The narwhal tusk tells us that nature keeps records, that the environment does not change silently. It leaves evidence, it leaves patterns, it leaves stories inside the creatures who depend on it. The tusk can help understand the Arctic. And understanding the Arctic means understanding the challenges and opportunities we face as stewards of a rapidly changing planet. If you enjoy these videos, comment, tap the like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you do not miss our next stories. Do you have stories you would like us to cover in the next videos? Drop them in the comments. We love to hear your ideas. Until next time, stay curious and keep uncovering the hidden stories of our planet's journey.